Listen to me, please. You should have someone plug and unplug the dryer for you while you check for 240 volts in the dryer terminal block. Follow my instructions and you will be safe when doing this voltage test. Unplug the dryer from the wall outlet. Remove the cover from the terminal block. Set your voltmeter to read higher than 240 volts AC. Touch L1 and L2 on the terminal block with your voltmeter test probes. Make sure no part of your body is touching the dryer. Have the dryer plugged into the wall outlet. The reading should be 240 volts. Have the dryer disconnected from the wall outlet. Touch L1 and N on the terminal block with your voltmeter test probes. Have the dryer plugged into the wall outlet. The reading should be 120 volts. Have the dryer disconnected from the wall outlet. Touch L2 and N on the terminal block with your voltmeter test probes. Have the dryer plugged into the wall outlet. The reading should be 120 volts. Have the dryer disconnected from the wall outlet. Make sure you install the terminal block cover back. This will protect everyone from live 240 volt wires. Okay? This is the voltage reading that you should get at the terminal block. From L1 to L2, 240 volts. From L1 to N, 120 volts. From L2 to N, 120 volts. If you don't get these readings, your problem could be on the outlet, fuse box, or circuit breaker box. In that case, you will need a licensed electrician to take care of the problem. Let an expert take care of your electrical problems. Make sure the dryer is disconnected from the wall outlet. Let me show you how to test and replace the door safety switch. Use a small flat screwdriver to pry out the switch. Just do it nice and easy. Make sure you don't break the switch. Here's a view of the three contacts on the switch: COM, NC, and NO. To test the switch, we're going to remove the white wire from the COM terminal. Set your multimeter to RX 1K ohms. Take a reading between the COM terminal and the NO terminal and push the button on the switch. The reading should be 0 ohms. If the reading is infinity, the needle doesn't move on the meter, the switch is bad and you will need to replace it. Take a reading between the COM terminal and the NC terminal without pressing the switch. The reading should be 0 ohms. If the needle doesn't move on your meter, the switch is bad. If you need to replace the switch, just remove the wires. You can make a notation of where each one of the wires go connected to on a piece of paper. The brown-yellow wire connects to the NO terminal on the switch. The white with the big terminal connects to the NC terminal. And the one with the small terminal connects to the COM terminal on the switch. Now all you have to do is put the switch through the hole, push it in, and it will snap in place. Make sure to disconnect the dryer from the wall outlet. We're going to be checking for continuity and we don't need electricity for this test. Let me show you how to check the thermal high limit right without taking the complete dryer apart. You will need a Torx T15 screwdriver to remove the screw from the top panel. After removing the screws, lay the control panel on top of the dryer. Take a reading with your ohms meter between the brown wire on terminal 1 on the start switch and the brown wire on terminal C on the timer. If the needle moves to the 0 ohms, the thermal high limit right is good. If the needle doesn't move from the infinity marking, the thermal high limit right is bad. Let me show you how to replace it if it's bad. Install the control panel back in place. Remove the top panel holding screws and remove the top panel. Remove these two screws and bend back the complete controls assembly back a little bit like this. Here you can see the two brown wires going to the control panel. Remove the wires from the bad thermal high limit and replace it with a new one and put the wires back in place. Install the two screws on the controls assembly and install the top panel. And that was how to test and replace the thermal high limit right. Warning: before you use a dryer, make sure that the dryer is exhausting properly to the outside, or the thermal high limit right may blow out again too soon. Poor air circulation is a major cause for the thermal high limit to fail. Let me show you how to check the start switch. You will need a Torx T15 screwdriver to remove the screw from the top panel. After removing the screws, lay the control panel on top of the dryer. Remove the red wire from terminal 1 on the start switch. Connect your ohms meter test probes between terminals 1 and 2 on the start switch. Turn the start switch button to the on position and hold it. The reading should be 0 ohms. If the reading is infinity, the switch is bad and you will need to replace it. To replace the start switch, remove the knob and remove the wires from the switch. Then with a flat screwdriver, lift the tab and turn the switch counterclockwise and pull it right out. Take the new switch and line it up. Turn it clockwise and it will snap in place. Install the wires and install the knob. Disconnect the dryer from the wall outlet. We're going to check for continuity and we don't need electricity for this test. Set the timer dial at 60 minutes on the time dry cycle. To check the timer, you will need to remove the controls panel. To do that, you will need a Torx T15 screwdriver to remove the screws. After removing the screws, grab the control panel and lay it on top of the dryer. Remove the red wire from terminal B on the timer. Take a reading with your ohms meter between terminals B and C on the timer. The reading should be 0 ohms. If the reading is infinity, the timer is bad and you will need to replace it. To check the timer motor for continuity, remove the black wire from terminal C on the timer. Take a reading between that wire and the black wire on terminal T on the timer. The reading should be between 2 and 3000 ohms. If the reading is infinity, you should replace the complete timer assembly. To replace the timer, you will need to remove the knob. Then with a flat screwdriver, lift this tab and turn the timer counterclockwise. And take it right out with all the wires on it. Set the new timer in and turn it clockwise until it snaps in place. Put the old timer next to the new timer and start replacing the wires one by one. Put the knob back on the timer and you're done checking and replacing the timer. Disconnect the dryer from the wall outlet. You're going to need a homemade test cord. Get a 15 feet long extension cord. Get 2 insulated alligator clips. Solder the 2 alligator clips to this end of the extension cord. To test the motor, you will need to remove the controls panel. To do that, you will need a Torx T15 screwdriver to remove the screws. After removing the screws, grab the control panel and lay it on top of the dryer. Set the cord on top of the dryer and put a piece of tape to hold it in place. Connect one of the test cord alligator clips to the ground terminal on the cord. Connect the other test cord alligator clip to terminal 2 on the start switch. Warning: this is one of the few tests that will need to be done with live 120 volts. Electricity could be dangerous. Please follow my instructions and you will be safe. Okay? Stay away from the dryer. Make sure you don't make any contact with the dryer. Connect the test cord to the wall outlet. If the motor runs, then you know that the door switch and the motor are okay. If the motor won't start and it sounds like this, unplug the test cord right away. You have a bad motor. If you plug it in and nothing happens, make sure you have electricity on the outlet and check the door switch. If the door switch is good and you got electricity on the outlet, then you have a bad motor.